What's up, guys? It is 9:01 a.m. U.S. Standard Time. Did I say daylight? Have I been saying daylight time when we are on Standard Time? It's Wednesday, November 10th, 2021 AD. Anno Domini. That's a dig on the atheists and secularists out there. I'm going to touch on education mess because they're pushing for girls to be educated. And one educated girl just got married, which is not advisable by expert guys. And speaking of education, they're trying to brainwash the kids and push sexuality madness on them. They're trying to play parents, play fathers. So evil. And single mothers are propping up single mothers being politicians and activists, and it's a big mess. I have evil Pfizer's pretending like they're such objective observers. Give me a break. And all this misinformation on the virus is being put out, including by Fauci, phony Fauci himself. Did he put out fake news about AIDS back in the day? I have a clip of Fauci from the 80s I think I may play. But we got to get started, guys. So let's get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how are you guys doing? I am fine. We're live on multiple platforms: Twitch, Facebook, D-Live. D-Live demonetized me. Thank you, Baked Alaska, but I hear he's suffering. So that's a shame. YouTube, not Trovo. Trovo banned me. Twitter and Odyssey, odyssey.com/@the-Hake-Report/live. And I'm streaming on TalkStream Live. You can find me, The Hake Report. You can also find me through Jesse Lee Peterson's channel on TalkStream Live because I'm on his network. And you can use that call-in line for JLP on the Hake Report. For the Hake Report, there's a call-in listen line, courtesy of TalkStream Live. Shout out to TalkStream Live. And shout out to the beautiful South and the Facebook crew. The Facebook crew. Nice to see you. Or do I see you? Are you there? What's up, Twitch? Nice to see you, too. And, of course, JLP Live, the JLP Live player. If you can remember this easy-to-remember web address, rdo.to/Jesse. rdo.to2. Not TWO, not the number 2, but TO. rdo.to/Jesse. It's kind of like radio to Jesse. JESSE. And that will take you to a JLP Live player if you don't have the app. Say you don't have an Apple device, which I wouldn't blame you. Although, I don't know. Everybody's evil nowadays, right? Let me tell you guys about Malala and Greta Thunberg. Shout out to my Swedish friends /fans /listeners. And Samuel, I got to get back with you. I saw an email come in a few days back, a couple days ago. But Malala got married. No, she's not 15 years old anymore. When she was 15 back in like 2012, I guess, this Malala Yousafzai was shot in the head because she was a little activist and she was going to school. And in Pakistan, or this part of Pakistan, it was outlawed by the Muslims. And this aspect of the Taliban, a gunman purportedly went in and shot her and a couple of other girls who had just taken a test back in 2012 and shot her on like a bus. And she went to one place It wasn't working, so she went to a white hospital in like the UK, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Or am I? And they saved her life. And, you know, when she talks, like, she has, like, part of her face is, I think, paralyzed, apparently, because you see her mouth gets a little crooked. I think that's from the gunshot wound. So then she continued to be an activist. Her life was somewhat in danger, but as she got bigger, then her life was more protected because, you know, when it's in the spotlight, you can't just up and be assassinated when there's a whole bunch of people trying to protect you. And there's all kinds of money being thrown at you. And she's being propped up by Oprah and who's that lesbian woman who just got canceled for being white, for being somewhat white? Ellen. She was on Ellen, if I remember right. She was interviewed by Jon Stewart, that comedian guy, liberal Daily Show, former Daily Show host, and just propped up. Because she pushes for girls to be educated. That's girls. Educated. Well, what a mess. That's not the problem here in America. In fact, that is part of the problem here in America. Girls being educated and conceited and all that mess. And remember, and I've told you guys this story before, and I got bashed by some of the atheist liberals on YouTube, including former JLP guest. This woman, oh no, not this woman, but these females and mainstream media, what's that pretty one's name? She's an actress, Salma Hayek, and Barack Obama's wife. And all of those people were like, hashtag bring back our girls, because Boko Haram, which is affiliated with ISIS, over in like Nigeria, kidnapped Nigerian schoolgirls. And this was after months of, and maybe years, of mass murdering boys and men, burning their towns down, just murdering them. And then they wouldn't kill the girls, they would kidnap them. Deprive them of education. Nobody cared about the boys and men being mass murdered. And nobody in the mainstream media. They would do a few headlines, but no major outcry. Once the girls got kidnapped, not murdered like the boys were, not massacred like the men were, all of a sudden the West wants to pretend to care about the girls. Oh, bring back our girls. So that's that pretense. It's a big pretense. You can see right through it. I think most of you can. So Malala got married. She got married to this guy, Asser Malik. And she posted on IG and he posted on Twitter. She called him her partner, according to the New York Post, which is a sleazy outlet. I will get to your calls, guys. Aw, isn't that sweet? Today marks a precious day in my life, she posted yesterday. Asser and I tied the knot to be partners for life. We celebrated a small nikah ceremony. I guess she's still Muslim. I don't know. At home. And by the way, pushing this female stuff. And by the way, he called her his partner too. Man, the male feminism is even entering the educated Muslim world. He's a Pakistani cricket something board member. Good-looking couple, I guess. You'll remember, speaking of propping up little girls, or former little girls, Malala met with Greta Thunberg. This was a year and a half ago, but it just reminded me of this. Climate activist Greta Thunberg meets Nobel Prize winner Malala Yousafzai. And they met in Oxford, a white school in a white country, formerly white country, UK. They come into the UK and the United States and cry racism and sexism and all that stuff. And we treat women and POCs too well. Too well. But they want more, so they push us around. Oh, and look at this article from The Guardian, February 2020. Rhiannon, how do you pronounce that name? Rhiannon. Rhiannon. Sounds like is that a Fleetwood Mac song, Rhiannon? Lucy Coslet. That's the name of this writer, The Guardian. It's a foreign outlet, far left foreign outlet, The Guardian. She wrote this. And this is just melodrama. Women should not be concerning their pretty little heads about climate mess. Much less girls, much less mentally ill Swedish children. Hat tip to the Daily Wire guy who called her that. Greta Thunberg. The planet is a mess. This is the article written by The Guardian female writer. The planet is a mess, and it is easy to despair, writes this woman. But seeing Thunberg with other inspirational figures offers a glimpse of hopes. To quote George Harrison, who is a Beatles stick, it's been a long and lonely winter. The world is on fire or in flood. This was written, a year and a half ago. And everything feels hopeless. And that is before you get to politics, where no one seems interested in doing anything about the aforementioned dumpster that the human race has set alight, referring to the climate mess. Reports suggest that ecological grief or climate depression are very real states of being. Because you're scaring the kids? Be scared. Panic. Not to be confused with Rhiannon. Everything seems so incredibly, irredeemably bleak. This is the black pill for the libs. How do you find hope among the ruins? The libs have hopelessness, especially the females. Thankfully, we have photographs of Greta Thunberg meeting other similarly inspirational people. Most recently, Malala Yousafzai. Thunberg, 17 at the time. This is February 2020. And Yousafzai, 22. She's 24 now. It's been over a year and a half. She was 15 when she was shot in the Taliban in retribution for her activism, supporting young girls' right to an education. It's not a right. It's not a right, by the way. That's communist nonsense. They say clean water is a human right. Healthcare is a human right. No, it's not. Those are needs. And you got to take care of your own needs. And then when you can't, the capitalist Christians will help you out. But then if you don't work, you don't eat. If you refuse to work, you don't eat. We need men back in charge. Am I right? And I guess the socialist ones, for those of you who think socialism is a good thing. Whatever. But anyway, this is part of what makes Thunberg so inspirational. She shows picture of Obama shaking her hand when she was 16 or whatever age she was. She gives me hope for the future. This grown woman, purportedly, for the far left foreign outlet, The Guardian, takes hope from Greta Thunberg, shaking hands, taking pictures with other liberals, dumb liberals whom she admires. Unlike older generations, she did not have the luxury of a childhood unmarred by climate anxiety. Stupid! You guys are the ones pushing this anxiety. Reminds me of the China virus stuff. China virus, they're saying, if you are suffering from depression, then or some type of mental illness, the China virus is that much worse for you. It is a risk factor. And if you get the China virus, you are more likely to suffer from depression, they say. What a mess. But they did the communist shutdowns, and they scared people. Be afraid. When terror struck Thunberg, like Yousafzai, refused to capitulate by staying silent, as is expected of girls. And she even met with that woman. Remember Gorillas in the Mist? I watched that movie when I was a kid. I didn't know that this was an evil hippie woman. Jane Goodall. She met with Jane Goodall, the gorilla lady. She likes gorillas better than human beings. Commie. We get to see her meeting with everyone from Barack Obama to Jane Goodall, not to mention Jeremy Corbyn, the socialist anti-UK politician. Commie. Globalist commie. Jeremy Corbyn. I have an extremely negative impression of Jeremy Corbyn, although I don't know anything about him. except that he's a socialist and a communist. Leonardo DiCaprio, that guy who's all melodramatic. Leonardo DiCaprio pretends the climate stuff is real because he's a child actor who has full of guilt because he hasn't really earned much. What a mess, huh? Save the carbon footprints. David Attenborough met her via Skype to save carbon footprints. Anyway, the climate strikes. They were pushing the school climate strikes, kids skipping school to protest the climate stuff. Reminds me of the March for Our Lives stuff. Oh my gosh, turn on the AC, please. We're getting studio warming from all the hot air coming out of my mouth. AC, please. Open the vent. Last week, thank you. I think I saw the lights blink. Anyway, they saying, it's cheering to see children coming together for a brighter future. That's not bright, that's darkness. Sick stuff, huh? The March Against Our Lives is gun control mess. They mobilize all commies and evil people. Mobilize the masses of the young people pretending that they're smart when they're not. Devastating articles about starving polar bears, melting glaciers, rampant bushfires. It's a flicker of light in the darkness, and I'll take it. So evil, am I right? She met with Justin Trudeau, and she got all tough with Justin Trudeau, who's that pretty boy prime minister. Hake, what is your evidence that climate change isn't real? I didn't say it isn't, but there's no evidence, no valid evidence. Well, I won't say that. I will just say that this hype is hype. It's hype. Duh. I don't have to present evidence. The burden of proof is on them. They just came out with an article recently about the sun being stronger and stranger than the astrophysicists and all those people realized. Solar flares. The IPCC, UN IPCC, what have they done? They've shut out dissent, silenced dissent. If you are honest, you don't say the science is settled. If you are honest, you don't silence dissent. That's what anti-science people do. Duh! And these people swoop in with their false solutions. None of them stand for what's right. They're propping up girls and LGBTIQ madness and all that mess. Breezy Scroll reports. I've never heard of Breezy Scroll, but Nicolas gave me this tip. Canadian woman becomes the world's first patient to be diagnosed with climate change. What's Breezy Scroll? Canadian woman facing breathing problems, possibly the world's first patient to suffer from the direct effects of climate change. They keep on pretending that all these fires are from climate change, when many of and there's no such thing as a climate scientist. I think it's people who know, air and stuff like that. They're like, hold on, there's no evidence that that's from climate change, but the politicians will make the claim. According to the doctors, the poor air quality and heat waves are responsible for her condition, and that's because of the climate change. They throw in a little bit of truth with a whole lot of lies, and they swoop in with the false solutions. Why are you such a sucker are you such a sucker that you think that what they're telling you is true? These dishonest people. Please. So phony. I will get to, speaking of this education mess, I have a little report to share with you. Local news outlet talked about Fairfax County, is that in Virginia? Asking students as young as 12 years old about their sex life. Disgusting. But first, let me get to Social Pariah out of Denver, Colorado. How are you doing, Social Pariah?
Hey.
Hey.
Just a second, Winnie.
What in the world?
I gotta go.
He's not ready.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Oh.
You on the job or something? You working?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
You have your own business, right?
Yeah. I had to walk outside of my truck to talk.
Okay.
But, yeah, I'm not going to keep you long. I just want to congratulate you on that debate.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
appeared on Modern Day Debate, guys, and I debated Has/infrared. There was an interesting super chat about infrared.
Yeah, and,
Red is in
he
communist.
was wrong when he said that that Marxism and communism did not practice deception and didn't use division.
Yeah.
That's what that was his primary teaching, was how to deceive.
Yep.
And, anytime you talk to a communist, they're talking about what the ideas behind communism. Well, anything can sound good on paper.
Yeah.
But it never works. I mean, it's just, their principle of everybody gets everything they want is bunk. I mean, it's basically like used car salesmen. They're not really selling you anything. They're selling you an idea that's full of deception. And if you have a good product, you don't need deception.
Right. Yeah.
So right from the get-go, socialism and communism are not to be trusted.
Yeah. I agree, man. These people are, and you notice that any answer he gave was not a direct answer. It was a wordy answer in order to trick people. Like, for example, when he said, slavery and rape are very much tied together. And I'm like, so you're saying that every slave was raped by every slave master? Because I said that there were good and bad slave masters. And he's all, that's like saying there are good and bad rapists. And I said, slavery is not rape. Slavery is not necessarily wrong. Slavery is not ideal, but it's all depends on how you treat one another. It's a situation of life. And it's a fact of life around the world. But he's all pretending that slavery in America was specifically so much more evil than anywhere else in the world. What a lie. I don't buy it for a second.
You're right on. I mean, I don't know if you're going to get through the thick-headedness of Democrats and socialists. I mean, you can have every point in the world, and if they don't want to hear it, then they're just not going to hear it. But
right.
I think you're right on. You did a good job.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's good to hear from you.
Yeah, sorry, I got to get back to work.
No problem.
To weigh in on that, but
that's fine. I respect that. A working man, and especially you got your own business. That's cool. Take care, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Talk to you later.
All right. What a mess. There are people saying there was this guy named Prince Charles reporting Breitbart way back in 2015 that the climate change is responsible for Syria and ISIS. Remember over there in Syria, they had all this mess going on in between the people. They're saying, oh, it's causing mass migration and stupid stuff like that. Phony world. Communism was a weapon of the Vatican, says somebody. Well, the Pope definitely seems commie to me. But this guy acted like he was, the guy I debated, he acted like he was a nice and reasonable and pro-patriotism. But he pretended to tell the truth about both sides, but it turns out he was lying about both sides. He was pretending to link the American Revolution with communism and the Civil War with communism, which may have had some connection, I don't know. But the Revolutionary War, I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. Certainly we can't fall for their lies, though. They're atheistic at heart. And anti-Christian. Outright anti-Christian. Anti-truth. They don't care about the truth. So speaking of not caring about the truth and pretending to care about the children, I saw this on Twitter. Nick Minock tweeted this out. I believe he's a reporter. Local news reporter out of WJLA TV, reporter for 7 News DC, which is ABC 7 out of Washington, D.C. area. And he talks about Fairfax County. I think that's Virginia, right? Isn't that Virginia? Fairfax County FCPS survey asks students as young as 12 years old about their sex life, dating life, home life, and more. Here's some of the questions. How old were you when you had sexual intercourse for the first time? Have you ever had oral blah, blah, blah? Disgusting, huh? Let me play this clip. 2 minutes of this news report, 2.5 minutes of this news report for you. Part A. I think I'll play this one, and then maybe next hour I'll play part B. But listen to this. It's honestly kind of disgusting. Horrific.
Because some Virginia students as young as 12 years old will be asked about their sex life, dating life, home life, and more.
12. Now, these are the kinds of topics that'll be on the 2021 Fairfax County Youth Survey, which is a collaboration between Fairfax County government and Fairfax County Public Schools. 7 News reporter Nick Minock has the details, all new at 5.
8th, 10th, and 12th grade students in Fairfax County will have the option of participating in the 2021 Fairfax County Youth Survey. The survey begins with asking students how old they are, whether they are male, female, or transgender. And the survey asks students their sexual orientation, their race, and their experience at school. The survey also asks students several questions on how they spend their time after school, questions on their home life, bullying, their feelings during the past 12 months, plus how often students use tobacco, alcohol, and other drugs. It doesn't stop there. The Fairfax County Youth Survey asks students questions about their sexual behavior, including questions like, have you ever had sexual intercourse? How old were you when you had sexual intercourse for the first time? How many people have you had sexual intercourse with? And during the past 3 months, how many people have you had sexual intercourse with? There are more explicit questions on this survey. We posted it on WJLA.com. And we should mention, this isn't the first time the county and the public schools issued and developed a survey like this. The results of last year's Fairfax County Youth Survey found 20% of FCPS students ages 13 to 18 vape. And the year before that, the survey found 37% of students reported high levels of stress, and 28% felt sad or hopeless for 2 or more weeks in a row. The Fairfax County website saying the survey is comprehensive, anonymous, and voluntary. And the county saying the results provide a snapshot of the county's youth and serves as a barometer of the community's effectiveness in fostering healthy choices in young people. 7 News made multiple attempts to reach out to the county and the school district, and we asked, what is this data going to be used for, and how were these questions developed? We'll let you know when we find out. In Fairfax County, Nick Minock, 7.
Crazy, huh? That's nuts. Kid's gonna lie, says Jose Des. Justin over there on YouTube says, we did a similar survey when I was in 8th grade. That's 13, 14 years old. Yeah. The guys all, I chuckled when they said many of the students reported being sad for an extended period. Sad. It's funny how he said sad. For an extended period of time, more than 2 weeks. Yeah, because you're teaching this degeneracy. I remember being disturbed by that, by all this madness. And they mess up the families, and they want to play like they're the parents, the mothers. I saw on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, I don't know if he reported it yet, but I saw a tip from Nicolas that one state, Vermont, that's where they elected that communist, that atheist, not a Christian, communist, Jewish communist, atheist communist. What's that guy's name? Bernie Sanders, the simp who let Black Lives Matter females, annoying black females, take over his mic on the stage over in like Seattle, Washington. I'll never forget that. 2015, 2016, something like that. I'm like, this guy's not going to win against Trump. He won't even win against Hillary. He just rolls over and lets the black lady radicals, I use the term lady loosely, walk all over him. What a coward. He's not powerful. He's not honest. But that's Vermont. Vermont, we became the first state, this is from Nicolas, NBC reports, in the country to require all public middle and high schools distribute condoms. I remember watching the JLP show. Way back. Yeah, these are for 12-year-olds. Way back in the 90s, he was complaining about black pastors, who some of them were like respected black pastors by somewhat respectable black Christians who were like serious in their minds about their Christianity, passing out condoms at church. Gross, Raymond. Oh, man. Yeah, the program was signed into law by Governor Phil Scott, a Republican of Vermont. How did Vermont elect a Republican? What type of Republicans are they electing up there in New England? Not real ones. Recently went into effect. The head of the Board of Education is a woman, of course. Of course. You guys can call in 888-775-3773. Actually, let me play this clip B. Here's a little bit more of this. This is another report the next day from this same news outlet. It's funny because the news outlet themselves, local news are a bunch of liberals too. They may not be as subverted necessarily. They're a little bit more hometowny, and occasionally a little bit down to earth, but they're still liberals. I will be reading your super chats, guys. Hang tight. But they even seem a little bit disgusted and outraged by this. Oh, man. To be honest, I'm a little surprised that they're outraged. But listen, this is from another tweet from Nick Minock on Twitter. Fairfax County defended their survey that asks students as young as 12 years old if they've had oral blah, 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 disgusting, and how many people they've had sexual intercourse with. Listen to this.
To some other news tonight, and all new at 5, some parents expressing outrage that Fairfax County and the school district are asking kids as young as 12 about their sex life, dating life, and more. Many say these kinds of questions are not age appropriate. 7 News reporter Nick Minock shows us what Fairfax County is saying about this 2021 youth survey.
The Fairfax County 2021 Youth Survey will ask middle school and high school students about their sexual behavior, including questions like, have you ever had sexual intercourse? How old were you when you had sexual intercourse for the first time? During your life, how many people have you had sexual intercourse with? And during the past 3 months, how many people have you had sexual intercourse with? A spokesperson with the county defended the survey, saying it's voluntary and anonymous, and the questions were selected from nationally recognized surveys. The county adding the survey is an important tool to assess youth needs, develop programs, and monitor trends.
What I want as a parent more than anything is to know that I'm sending my children to a good school system that cares about her as a student and as an individual learner.
Sue Zoldak is a Fairfax County mom.
Right? Is it the school's role to know whether our children are sexually active, how many partners they've had? How does that connect to a positive educational outcome?
7 News found that Fairfax County isn't the only county in Virginia that is issuing surveys like this to students. Prince William County Public Schools confirms the Virginia Youth Survey is required, and the Virginia Department of Health tells 7 News schools are randomly selected to participate. Fairfax County saying the survey will be administered in classrooms between November 15th through November 30th during school hours. 7 News on your side reached out to every single school district in Northern Virginia asking if they are issuing surveys like this to students. We'll let you know what we find out on WJLA.com. In Fairfax County, Nick Minock, 7 News.
Sick mama, says Cordell. Yeah, why is she using the term partner? Reminds me of Malala. Talking about partner. She didn't even believe in marriage, by the way. That Pakistani Muslim girl who got shot in the face for advocating for girls to be so-called educated. By the way, education here in America and probably around the world, UN-style education, is indoctrination. That's why I had that debate with that communist, 25-year-old guy cucking for the blacks, just pretending, oh, blacks' families are so messed up because of slavery. Everybody knows, including the black Hebrew Israelites, that they had their families together during slavery and after slavery and as recently as the 40s. And then it started falling apart. 65 was that Democrat put out that the crisis of the black family. And then it got even worse because of LBJ bribed them, and they bought the bribe, suckers. Don't buy the bribe, anybody. Don't buy that blame game. What a mess, huh? Sick stuff. Just introducing disgusting stuff. Are you transgender? Asking 12-year-olds that. Let me get to Christina in Sacramento, California. How are you doing, Christina?
Very well. Thank you, James.
Nice.
Thanks for taking my call. Yeah, so it's so funny that you bring that up because this is another topic of discussion that we're having at our school board meetings. And I have 3 kids in the public school system. 2 of them have already dealt with these dumb surveys, and they're all over California. And one of them, my older son, when he was, I think, in the 10th or 11th grade, his biology teacher passed this out.
Wow.
And yeah, and it's the same. It's different questioning, same genre. And I asked him what he did. He said he read it, he got up, and he tossed it on the teacher's desk and said, "I'm not filling this out."
Yeah, good.
You could, right?
That's
you
your
could
son?
do that. And my son.
Nice.
Yep, he got up and gave it back to him. And he and the teacher got into this discussion about it. Well, blah, blah, blah. And he said, "No, I'm not going to fill this out. I'm sorry. Forget it."
Yeah.
And he left it on the table and went back to his desk. I was so glad he did that. My other son is kind of a jokester, and so he got one of these surveys. And so he put down, "Do you feel suicidal?" And he put, "Yeah, all the time. I felt like jumping off a bridge the other day." And "Do you identify as whatever?" And he said, "Yeah, I identify as a rabbit."
Nice.
So he just, exactly, he just has fun with it, and he pulls this stuff. So, but these surveys are just, I look at it as it's more manipulation, more brainwashing for these little kids. And they're just absolutely just disgusting and sinful, I think.
Right. Yep.
Yeah,
it is.
So,
it's part of the brainwashing that this stuff is pushed on them in the social media world. It's pushed on them in the mainstream media world. Anytime you turn on even network TV, they're promoting that Desmond is amazing, 11-year-old drag queen boy doing basically like a stripper dance with his parents, goofy-looking father anyway, both of them goofy-looking, sitting right there, and the black former football player, I'm blanking on his name, but he's a co-host of this Good Morning America or whatever, the degenerate ABC or whatever show, applauding and treating this like it's a good thing. It's disgusting.
It is, and the parents are absolutely contributing to this. I mean, I think that they should absolutely be put in jail for child abuse.
Yeah, they shouldn't be allowing them to go to school.
No. All right. I mean, there was a time in our history when this would have been considered child abuse.
Right.
Having this child be objectified like this.
Yeah.
They're objectifying him, and they're allowing it. Our laws are allowing it, which is astounding.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is.
Yeah.
They say there's all this melodrama because about pedophilia by both sides. They pretend like they care about children, but they're abusing the children. They're brainwashing the children to accept all of this madness. They're having gays do adoptions and stuff. You see Pete Buttigieg with his so-called husband.
I know.
Having a so-called son. I don't know who's the real father, and they're pretending that that's real and genuine. And so these kids grow up messed up, and then they call Jesse for counseling.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I look at it, this is the beginnings of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
I mean, where all this stuff is glorified.
Yeah.
And, I mean, these things are going on in the classrooms. I tell my kids, take the form, tear it up, and throw it at the teacher, or bring it home. I said, we will go to the principal, any of these forms, whenever, and I printed out what their rights are. I said, you guys you can claim that you have you can't be discriminated against because of your religion.
Right.
So my middle son was in another English class. The English teachers are really bad too, but they were asking all the students if they think that animals have souls. I mean, they ask these obscure, dumb questions, and anybody who doesn't believe it, she was kind of like really harassing him about it. Why don't you think animals have souls? And he said, look, it's my religious beliefs. And so she backed down.
Nice.
But the kids aren't going to do that. They're afraid,
right.
to speak up to the teacher because they're not taught any sort of, confidence in their homes to speak up, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's so true. I remember I was a sophomore in high school and I was taking Spanish 2, and we had this goofy teacher. Nobody liked him. Nobody respected him. But it turned out he's a Democrat. He came out saying he was a Democrat. I'm like, why? Why are you a Democrat?
Wow.
And he's all, well, because I'm not rich, or something like that. So I'm like, I'm like thinking in my mind. I was baffled by that answer. I was thinking in my mind. So it's not about right and wrong for you. It's about your own selfishness, basically, is what he's telling me.
Exactly. Yeah, and see, teachers aren't supposed to be teaching what they believe in.
Yeah.
Leave that for the private, even Christians, right? That should be for the private schools. They're supposed to give to school and teach the kids how to think for themselves. Yeah. Regardless of what their thoughts are. They're not supposed to be giving their opinions.
And it should, I don't even know if they should be teaching them how to think for themselves. That's like for the parents to do even that. I think they should be presenting the reality of what happened in history, not this fake history, not this people's history of the United States where slavery and genocide were the founding principles. And
they're pushing it.
Real, actual math and reading. That's about it.
Exactly.
And the parents can honestly teach the kids to read. My mother taught me to read.
Yeah. So, I mean, you were fortunate.
Yeah.
And every family, they have their problems, every family does, but it's just some families are a little more aware and awake than others.
Right.
And so, and then you see it in the kids, the ones that are easily manipulated, they just fall over. And they're afraid and they don't want to speak up. But, it seems like that was not the case in your home, and that's not the case in our kids' homes.
Yeah.
So,
well, I appreciate it.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. It's fun. They have fun with it.
Yeah,
so,
that's cool.
Whatever. Yeah. All right. Thanks for bringing that up, though.
Yeah, thank you, Christina. Appreciate you.
All right, you bet.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Young minds are easy to demoralize, says Only Two Sexes over there on D Live. I mean, especially when you separate the angry ones, ones you separate from the parents. The children of divorce are some of when I was a kid, when I was in high school at least, they were some of the angriest, and they turned so liberal, so just nasty. Deal with your own home. What's up, Dawning Armour? Nice to see you, man. Hey, how do you feel about black parents fostering? Hold on, let me read some super chats, guys, and stuff. And some regular chats. Malkuth says, hey, how do you feel about black parents fostering/adopting white children versus white parents fostering/adopting black children? Question mark, question mark. Interesting question. I mean, if they don't have their own parents, then that's fine. I've known some parents who have adopted some of their children that they have. They have their own children, and then they adopt other children on top of it. Children from Russia and other children. If they're morally straight, I guess I'm fine with it. The interracial thing, sometimes it says something about them, or you find out something that you're like, oh, okay, this is a do-gooder mindset. Like Amy Barrett, who adopted some black kids. Or Madonna, I think, adopted some black kids, right, from Africa or somewhere. They're like pets to these people. Well, I don't know about Amy Barrett. But for Madonna, it seems like, didn't she marry like Guy Ritchie and then married another guy? What a mess. But these people are, Amy Barrett isn't telling the truth to her black children, she's being pulled into the evil world that they're falling into by being into their blackness. And she's fallen for the imaginary racism thing. Amy Barrett, the Supreme Court so-called justice. There's only one true justice in the Supreme Court, and that is Clarence Thomas, who I suspect may have been a Rhino Bush affirmative action, de facto affirmative action hire, but it turned out he was like based. That's cool. Gotcha. And I think that the other guy is all right too. Alito, he may be all right. But the rest of them, the rhinos that Trump put in place, who were selected for him, I hear, weak. I have not really heard about black parents adopting white children, but I don't know, man. The average black is just falling for that stuff. I know you're not, Malkuth, I don't think. Although that is a strange name. Anyway, more super chats. People don't realize that slave families were many times, according to what I heard from a very reliable source, a fellow radio host. You guys may know about him, Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff. He reported after Cliven Bundy said, you know, I often wonder, were blacks happier under slavery than they are today because they have no families, no morals, angry, bitter, crying racism at every drop of the hat, give me a break, crime out of control, blind brain. Did you have a beard in high school? No, I did have to start shaving like my junior year. My brothers just took me into the bathroom. He's like, this is ridiculous. And he taught me how to shave my face. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a mess. The brainwashing of the blacks, and now they're brainwashing the whites. There's people who are like being melodramatic about people owning people. I know you make it sound bad, but it's not ideal. But it's not as out of control evil, spiritually oppressive as what the Democrats today are doing, pushing LGBTQ mess, division between the races and the sexes, meaning male and female, and the rich versus the poor, hating Republicans, hating Trump, which is real men, hating men, hating any black who thinks for himself, hating any POC who thinks for himself, hating any white who speaks too freely or says the N-word when it's perfectly even in good humor says the N-word, or even white Jews who say the N-word. Give me a break. No, I never did that, Misty. I did not do that. I never did that. It's an innocent question, I guess. So hopefully that answers your question, Malkuth. More super chats, guys. I heard from Peter Schiff that the families were, by and large, could be mistaken, kept together in the slavery days because they worked better together. They had better morale when they had their families together. I hear that sometimes they were separated. I mean, honestly, once you're an adult, you should be separated. I mean, it's fine to separate. What a mess. More super chats, guys. Let me read these from streamlabs.com/The Hake Report. Say gave a super chat. Saw the debate. Never seen someone reference so many dog whistles, globalists, big tech companies, academics, elites, George Soros funded color revolutions, etc., and still be a communist. He's about a few early life sections away from radicalization, LOL. Yeah, I know, Say. I literally thought that I was going to be debating like a Richard Spencer-style communist. I'm serious, because he's like okay with nationalism, but then he's like pandering to the blacks about, oh, slavery is the worst thing. You're not going to make inroads with the blacks saying slavery was not as bad as what the Democrats are today. So maybe so, Say. Your girlfriend gave a super chat. Your girlfriend, not mine. No, I don't know. Says, could you... Well, I don't have one. Could you say Malala and Obama again? Obama! Well, thank you, your girlfriend. Malala la 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 la. Someone gave a super chat and said, Christmas online shopping. tip for conservatives. Use Amazon to find the products, but then purchase them directly from the merchant. Take that, Jeff Bezos. Yeah. Interesting idea. Jacko Juhani gave a super chat with no comment. Thank you, Jacko Juhani. Jaakko. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Noah's Ark, Kansas gave 1776. Never in my life have I looked at a black man and thought, oh, look, one of them slave descendants. The only thing I think is, why is he taking my bike? Jokes aside, hat tip to Big Bear, right? Hat tip, Owen Benjamin. Did he start that? I don't know. I assume so, but maybe not. Jokes aside, blacks need to separate their ego from slavery. It is devastating and most don't see it. Yeah, you had nothing to do with slavery. Slavery has nothing to do with you. How many generations removed are you? Please. Should be thankful. One, that it happened, that you could be here in America. Be thankful, two, that it happened, that that many of your ancestors, if they were indeed your ancestors, were made better by way of suffering if they became Christians and suffered with dignity. There could be dignified slaves. Slavery is not an indignity. Being called a man when you're a man and you think you're a woman is not an indignity. You know, the confused LGBT people. That is somebody telling you, get your dignity back. I'm chuckling because I've been told, have some dignity. Yeah. It's embarrassing to be complaining about all the different discriminations. You've never had it so good as here in America. You just got to get your spirit right, and then you have a great life. Open your eyes. Let me get to a first-time caller, guys. Josh in Atlanta, Georgia. What's up, Josh? How are you?
Good. How are you, Hake?
I'm fine, thank you. No man is good, though.
Oh, right, exactly. I'm blessed and highly favored.
Are you black or white?
I'm white. Why are you asking me if I'm black?
Because you said you're blessed and highly favored, and that's a black Christian thing to say more often than whites. Although you are from Georgia. You're from Georgia, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're from the South, so maybe it's a Southern thing, and I just don't realize it.
Maybe so. Well,
and I love the South. Are you on speakerphone? You're coming in rough.
Yeah, I'll get off speakerphone. One sec.
Okay, yeah, never, ever, ever.
How's that, Hake?
I think that's going to be better.
Okay. Should have known better. Sorry about that.
I accept your apology.
I wanted to make a comment. I've been listening to Jesse for a while. I enjoy your show. And I know Jesse always has great people.
You're coming in and out there. You're coming in and out there, Josh. Your connection is...
Can you hear me now?
You stay still. Don't be indoors in a bunker. And don't be out moving about. And you're in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make it quick.
Cool.
I know Jesse says to stand up to black people. I don't hate
Jesse Lee
anybody.
Peterson.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't hate.
You dropped off, man. You don't hate. Oh, man. Well, we'll
20 pounds.
Josh, your phone is a mess. Do you have an Obama phone? Are you sure you're not black?
No. Come on. Hey.
Where are you that your signal is so whack, as the kids say? Well, actually, the kids don't say that.
I'm walking on a river trail. I'm by the river right now, walking on a trail, getting exercise. But
okay.
I can call back if you can't hear me.
I hear you fine. Stand still. Stop walking. Your phone is going in and out.
Okay.
The heck?
Okay, how about now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know Jesse says to stand up to black people, but it's especially in the workplace. It's like I've lost jobs because I stood up to black people. You know,
well, he doesn't say to stand up to black people in the workplace. What type of standing up to black people have you been doing? Oh, you dropped off again, man. Get out from under that tree. Go up and stand on a hill. Are there hills in Atlanta?
Oh, yeah.
Go up in the clear air so that you're not so...
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on hold, man, because this is a nice call, but I can't deal with this confusion.
I understand.
So I'll put you on hold. We'll see if we can fix your phone, and if not, we'll call you back, and I'll get back to you even today if you're able to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll walk to the parking lot, and then I'll try to.
Sounds good, man. I'll put you on hold, and if you can work it out in the next few minutes here, we'll do that. Let me get to John in Kentucky. John in Kentucky. I didn't hang up on him. When I went to him, he disconnected. Let me get to Rick in Maine. Rick in Maine. Nice to hear from you, man. How are you?
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Hey, I got some comments I'd like to make about this Rittenhouse case.
Kyle Jack Bauer, John Wick Rittenhouse is on the stand.
You betcha.
Yeah.
You know, I've been watching Louder with Crowder, and he done a very extensive analyzation of the videos that they got. And they're looking at a lot of the facts really close. This is going to be a mistrial. This guy that I can't even pronounce his last name got shot in the
Grosskreutz. I think it's Grosskreutz.
Yeah. Okay.
Gage Grosskreutz, who had the pistol aimed at Kyle's face.
Yeah. Yeah. And everybody said that he was putting his gun away and this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
That man was about to pull the trigger on Carl Rittenhouse and murder him in cold blood.
Yeah.
And the only thing that stopped him was Kyle pulling the trigger and taking that arm out that was holding the gun. There's no question about it. In those videos, it shows the reflection off of that pistol. And he dropped it in the street. You could see it in the street.
Yeah, his arm went limp.
Yeah,
I chuckle, but it's
his upper arm got blown to smithereens. Is what happened.
Instant.
You know,
I don't believe in karma. Instant reaping what you sow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no doubt at all that this was clearly a case of self-defense. He was legal to have the firearm.
Nice.
He had the firearm legally. So
what about that law? What about that evil anti-constitutional law in the state of Wisconsin that said 17-year-olds can't have a gun or something like that? What about that law?
I'm not familiar with that.
Okay, that's one of the charges.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard something about...
It's evil.
You know, it is.
That's a dumb law. It's evil law.
And, you know, we've got 2 more states that's going to be putting constitutional carry on the table.
Nice.
And I really hope they pass, because we're going to get, 25 states or close to 25 states if they pass those laws.
Yeah.
A person has a right to defend himself, his property, and his family, as far as I'm concerned, in any location in this country.
And his community.
I don't care where it is.
Is it
exactly.
Did he put out that dumpster fire, or do we know that?
No, the oppositional force set that thing on fire, and I think he was headed to it, but then they got into the scuffle with this other guy,
Rosenbaum. Yeah,
and,
chased him.
That got sidetracked on everything else. I don't know where that dumpster went from that point, but it was a distraction.
Yeah,
and things are way too convenient
Salud.
to rule out interference from the FBI. They had a helicopter in the area. They had personnel on the ground that were UCs, undercovers. They had video that confirmed, even their video confirmed what was going on the ground. But, there's too much truth to have very much refutation in this case. If I was in the court, it would be for me to make my decision a mistrial, because everything that was presented for evidence was fact. The videos prove it, and so does a lot of the testimony. And that prosecutor,
yeah,
I got
all
to scratch my head on that one.
Yeah. It's insane.
You know,
the lawyers are out of control, and so are the judges,
They are.
honestly.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, what we'll see. We'll see if the good Lord above grants his freedom, then he'll go free.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You know, and I'm hoping he does.
Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't even be charged.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Somebody said in the chat that the people who attacked him and survived should be charged, like Grosskreutz.
Exactly.
And that other guy, I don't know if it was a black guy or not, but somebody tried to jump kick him, and Kyle fired 2 or 3 shots in his direction but missed, but didn't hit anybody else. And that guy ran off, but he should have been charged. That's assault. That's assault. And
Well, it's the same way with the guy that attacked him and struck him twice with that skate.
Right.
With a deadly weapon. Yes, that can be a deadly weapon.
Oh yeah, and he got instant reap what you sow. These people are acting, and I don't know what the crowd thought that they were doing. They were attacking this guy Kyle who killed the guy in self-defense. They don't know what really happened, but they're chasing him down.
That's exactly another point that I'd like to make. People making statements and raising all kinds of ruckus about stuff they do not have all of the facts for.
M.R. Jennings says they were saying, "We are going to kill you." I don't know if that's true,
Yes,
but
that was very clear.
But that guy's all, "Shoot me, N-word."
Clear.
Rosenbaum was like, "Shoot me, N-word," and then he got what he asked for.
Yep, he instigated the situation.
Some of these people are just so angry and black-hearted that they just have like a death wish. They don't care if they kill you or they get killed themselves. They're just so blind with rage that they do this. Yep. Anyway.
And Jesse makes a very good point. And people, you better listen to it. Because the fact that hate will control your life.
Right.
How many more examples, James, do we have to see in this country of that being a proven fact in any case?
Yeah. What an insane world. I appreciate it, Nick. Yep. I mean, Rick, nice to hear from you.
All right, buddy. Take care. Have yourself a great show.
You as well.
I'll be watching later.
Thank you, man. I'm going to get back with John in Kentucky after this quick break, or not so quick break, 6-minute long song or so, 6 or 7 minutes. I hope you enjoy this. This might be my favorite song on the suffering and the hideous thieves. This is called "Hush, Little Girl," and it's written by Jeff Suffering as a father at the time of a baby daughter. Enjoy "Hush, Little Girl" from Rats in Heaven, the album, 2004 album, by Suffering and the Hideous Thieves. Enjoy, grin and bear it, press mute, cover your ears, you musical Philistines, and I'll be right back for the rest of hour 2. See you soon.
shed a tear. I'm going to protect you when no one else will. Hush, little girl. I know it's hard when they try to steal from you, destroy you, and rob you blind. Hush, little girl. There's no need to fear. You're right here at home in my arms. Hush, little girl, before they ruin you. They will take you for granted, use you for whatever they feel. Hush, little girl, enjoy your time with me. You'll always be safe here, safe from this rotting world. From this rotting world. Safe from this rotting world.
Isn't this great? I like it. Skip thinks I need mental health treatment.
Hush, little girl. Go to sleep. Forget all about man's wicked heart and all his deceits. Hush, little girl.
Hake hates us, says Misty.
Close your eyes. All will be well if you believe in me.
The cover is anti-Christian, says everything is fake. No, it's Christian, man, supposedly. Malkuth X wants to eat tea and crumpets with this music. It's actually music, says Viewer USA. Oh, come on, this funeral music, bro. Jib Jab. Nap music, Matt the American says. How many CDs you have, man? Quite a lot. Satanic imagery. I think hate might be a fed. What's up, Samuel the Swede? Hate got issues. This music stinks, says Pepe Le Pew. Pepe Le Pew. Got any more 16 horsepower? Asks Name. Great group. Great group. Well, I appreciate you guys bearing with me through that wonderful song. Great song. But we got to get back with the show, guys. Let me get to John. Back to John in Kentucky. He had disconnected previous hour. Thank you for calling back, John.
What's up, man?
Hey.
Hey, well, I got a question, but let me ask you a question about that song and them lyrics.
Okay.
Is he talking about his daughter?
Yes.
Or who is he talking about?
Yeah, it's his daughter. I think it's kind of like a parallel between the father-daughter and God the Father and one of us, a human being.
Nah,
it's talking about how evil the world is. It's a Christian group, Suffering and the Hideous Thieves. The last song on the album is Amazing Grace.
Y'all should play that at church on Sundays, at Jesse's church.
I don't know if Jesse and the church people would be into that, but thank you for the suggestion. You like church with Jesse Lee Peterson?
Like the guy called yesterday and said, the only reason why he listens is to listen to the BS. That's what I listen for.
So you listen. If you don't mind telling us?
I listen sometimes.
Are you in the chat?
No, I don't do chat.
You're not in the live chat ever for my show or Jesse's show or anything?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just look. I look on TV on Sundays.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't agree with none of that stuff.
And during the week, you're not in chat?
No.
Okay. Because somebody was speculating that you were lights out, and I don't know. There's a guy named Lights Out in the chat.
I have no idea.
Yeah, no, he's commenting right now, so it couldn't be you. Anyway.
Does he sound like an Israelite?
He sounds like a black. I don't know if he's an Israelite. Who knows?
Well, tell him, if he's black, he's an Israelite. But tell him to call in. I like to hear it.
But there are black Africans, and Africans are not Israelites. Am I right?
Yeah, but Africans, yeah, right. Africans are not Israelites. Just,
See, I know
just because we have black skin.
Shout out to Art from Ohio. He told me that.
I mean, hey, it's just like Japanese, Chinese,
You like Art
Korean.
from Ohio?
Art from Ohio. You know, to a certain extent, but I need to hear him say why he believes that white people can be Israelites. I need to hear him say that because he's an Israelite. He knows he's from the tribe of Judah, but what tribe are white people from?
I
That's
don't
what I
know.
want to know from him.
I don't know. What a
but
mess.
Hey, my question is not meant to take a lot of time.
Okay.
But I know you're into the Bible, not as much as we are, but can you name a main character of the Bible that's white?
Not interested. No, I can't.
You can't because there is not one. I mean, there isn't one.
I don't know if that's true or not.
It's true. I mean,
you're making the claim, but I don't know if it's true or not.
Well, if you find out, let me know.
I do know people whose hearts were washed white as snow in the Bible.
No. I'm talking about race. You know,
okay, yeah.
You guys made up the black and white race.
I'm not really into that mess. It's kind of shallow, honestly.
You should though, because you know what it proves, man.
What's it prove?
Proves that y'all stole the Bible just like y'all steal everything else. Because there's no white people in the Bible that y'all can look up to. So you took Jesus and made him white.
No, we didn't make Jesus white. We never learned that Jesus is white. Only the blacks thought Jesus was white.
Your supporters thinks he's white.
No, none. I don't think any of them do.
I guarantee you.
Well, and what if some of them do? What if there's like one or two who does? What's that to you?
Not one or two, but most.
No. You don't know us.
It just shows that they don't know what's going on.
And you do.
They claim to be Christians, but you know Christianity is man-made by y'all. You know, y'all took our book and made your own religion. You made all our prophets. You made our Lord and Savior white. Like everybody's always white when it comes to the Bible.
No, not true. He definitely wasn't black.
That's true.
He definitely wasn't black, I'll tell you that much.
He definitely was black.
No, man, that's silly. That's ridiculous.
Yes.
Why do you need him to be black? Why do you need him to be black?
Well, listen for a second.
You feel better about yourself with him being black?
it's more believable that he's black
No,
than
it's
he
not.
is a white European.
We
Yes,
never
it is.
suggested he's a white European. He's a Middle Easterner.
No, he's not Middle Eastern.
Yeah, he
Middle
is.
Eastern is a made-up term, and you know it. Middle Eastern
it's
is
not.
a made-up term. Yes,
Well,
it
are the
is.
Middle East, are the people in the Middle East, are they black or white or what?
Well, see, that's the
Are
thing.
you one of
Black
those
and
people
white
who
is a
thinks if
made-up-
you're not black, you're white? Is that why you guys support hurting the Asians?
Not Jesse, damn.
Don't
Hey,
cuss.
I know you're not all the way stupid. You know where race came from. Black and white is a color. You know what I mean? Y'all put us into categories for a reason. You know what I mean? So if you go biblically, everybody is from a tribe.
The reason
descend from
is
somewhere.
you guys fall into this black culture, and we fall into this
that
white
descended
culture.
from what y'all started, man.
And
that descended from what y'all started.
we built America. We let you guys help pick the cotton and stuff, and maybe
at
build
that,
a little
look
bit
at
of the White House. Did a little bit of the manual labor.
A little bit.
We taught you Christianity. We let some of you guys become slave owners.
Brainwashed us.
No, that's
You
a good thing.
brainwashed us.
No, you're
made
brainwashed
us
today.
forget-
You're more
You made us
brainwashed
forget
today.
who we really were.
The slaves, the dignified slaves, would be ashamed of your silliness and shallowness.
You know some of the
shame
slaves
at
had
your
Hebrew names?
ancestors. Did you know that
Did you
you
know some of the
shame at your
slaves-
ancestors?
Goodness gracious, man. You can't have a real conversation.
Go
You
for it.
got to be a troll. Did you know some of the slaves had Hebrew names?
Yeah, because we gave them to you.
No, you didn't give us Hebrew names.
Yeah, we
what
did.
Are you talking about?
Matthew, Mark, John, Luke.
No, but that's the
Jesus.
English version of the name. Jesus. Oh, my God. But no, man, seriously, if you go to slave museums and you look at those books that the slave masters kept records of how many people were on the ship and how many people they threw over because they were sick, that's inhumane as it is.
Is Kunta Kinte a Hebrew name?
You know, that's African name.
Yeah.
I don't believe all that. That's an African name.
So we
But
went. So
that
we
was my
took you from
question, man.
Israel, or what?
No, we ran from Israel into the west coast of Africa. We blended in with the Africans because they were also dark-skinned. That's another telltale sign that you know Jews aren't white, because white people can't hide amongst dark-skinned people and hide. You know what I mean? So that's how you know
They can hide
we went
amongst
to the west
whites.
coast of Africa. We went to the west coast of Africa, and then Africans sold us because they knew we weren't their people. And y'all are hung up on us coming from the continent of Africa, and y'all call
No,
us
we're not.
African, which,
I do not call you African.
well, you don't
I
call
call
us
you
African
black.
because you want us to.
You're Black American, and you just don't know it.
No such thing. Are you Caucasian?
No, I'm white.
So you're not Caucasian at all?
I don't know if I'm Caucasian or not. I know I'm white though.
You're Caucasian. You're a caveman. That's what you are.
Whatever. That's a wonderful compliment. I appreciate it.
That's not a compliment.
Yes, it is.
That's not a compliment.
Yes, it is.
Hey,
Is it an insult?
I want to ask you something.
Is it an
serious.
insult?
I want to ask you something.
Is it an insult?
No, it's not an insult. It's
Thank
not an
you.
insult. It's just facts. It's just facts.
But
So
I'm
look, I
not
wanna
a
ask you
caveman. I was never lived in a cave. Although
when you come across
I
information,
used to make believe that I wish I could, but whatever.
when
I'm
you
not
come
into
across
this mess.
information,
We're into the spirit, right versus wrong. You're into
No,
the
Hake, that's not
imaginary.
true, Hake.
You're into your imaginary connection with these ancient Israelites, and you're into a bunch of mess. It's shallow.
you know it's true. It's true though. It's true.
No,
no
it's
matter
not.
what you say. I mean, you can talk
It's
to your
as
blue and
it's
purple
as
and
true
pink
as
in the face.
man-made climate change.
You can talk to your blue and purple and pink in the face.
It's
not
as
gonna
true
change
as
anything.
it's as true as the China virus and the anyway, never mind.
You do know it's growing, right?
Oh, the lie?
People
Oh
waking
yeah,
up
the bandwagoners always love the blacks love feeling good about themselves by appealing to something that happened somewhere, sometime, totally divorced from anything having to do with them. And
But it matters though.
It does not matter. It does not matter.
God judges
It has
us
nothing
not,
to do with
God
you.
judges us. God judges us not only as individuals,
On
but
your heart.
as tribes also.
On your heart, your evil heart.
And for you to say you're not into the race thing, hey,
At
every
all.
sentence comes out of your mouth is about race.
I know, because it's interesting. That's it. I'm not into it. I'm
make
not
a point.
I'm not bopping people on the head telling them, I'm a European and the Europeans dominated the whole Western world and all that stuff.
That's not the point. That's not the point.
Because I'm not into that stuff.
Everything but white European. If you're talking about somebody else, you make sure to identify what race they are.
Because it's interesting. It's interesting how you people.
Of course, you're not going to do it to white because that's what you think the standard is.
Yeah, I do.
That's what you. No.
Yeah, huh?
If you're talking about a lady, you'll say that black lady.
Right.
But if you're talking about a white lady,
because so many of them fall into this evil.
You're not being honest, man.
Yeah, huh?
But
that is honesty. Do these black ladies not fall into evil?
What?
Do these black ladies, Cori Bush, Ayanna Pressley,
I don't know all this.
Maxine Waters. You don't know who those are?
I've heard Maxine Waters. She's a notable name.
Cori Bush is a female congressman, single mother, Black Lives Matter agitator, homeless agitator, evil person, pushing evil. She's a member of the squad. Ayanna Pressley.
Is that your goal? Is that your goal, though, to, like, point out the faults of black people only?
No, I point out the faults of whites all the time.
Mostly.
Commonly, because they're out in the forefront.
Is it not?
Are they not out in the forefront?
You put them out there in the forefront.
No, who puts them out there in the forefront? The mainstream media. That's how I know about them.
The way you talk about them to your audience, though, you put them in in an evil category.
They are evil. Are they not evil?
And then you actually
Maxine Waters. You're familiar with Maxine Waters. Is she not evil?
Well, man, from what I know about Maxine Waters, she came up during all that civil rights and stuff like that. So she's been around for a while.
And is she evil?
I wouldn't call her evil.
Wow.
I call people like Trump evil.
Pathetic, man. That is pathetic. Evil. Trump's a decent man. Halfway decent, at least.
Trump doesn't care about anybody but Trump, though.
Oh, no. Trump loves everybody. He cares about America. No, that's why he gave up so much to run for president and faced
what did he give up?
The hatred.
What did he give up?
All kinds of stuff.
Like what?
He gave up a comfortable life, generally well-liked by everyone, to become hated by everyone.
He made while being president?
To be hated by everyone and face liars.
While being president?
I don't know. I don't think he made much. He gave up
$1.5 billion with a B. That's
so
what Trump made.
You don't even know what you're talking about. You're just making up stuff.
That's why people always
cite
say,
your sources.
He gave up his,
I'm going to be a Reddit bro. Cite your sources, John, or you're lying.
I'll cite
Where'd you get it?
Give it to you tomorrow.
Where'd you get it?
I'll cite it and give it to you tomorrow.
And why shouldn't he make money while being president?
But listen, this is the thing.
To him who has, it's in the Bible, John. It's in the Bible. To him who has, more will be given.
Listen.
Making money is not evil. Making money is not evil.
Loving money is evil.
And that's what you do.
No.
Yes.
I do what I got to do for my family.
See? You love money. You don't know Trump. You don't know Trump doesn't love money.
People are what?
No.
Trump is synonymous with money. He is synonymous with money.
Only in the black community. That's why the black community fake loves Trump.
He blinks dollar signs.
That's what the black community loved him for, because they have false love.
You're throwing me off my point.
Because you called Trump evil and you called Maxine Waters not evil.
I'm telling you.
You are evil.
Can I have my opinion? You let all these.
It's not a matter of opinion. It's a matter of truth or lies. And you're lying.
No.
You're lying on a decent man.
Dictator. You're not the dictator
and you're lying.
And lies
you're lying about a black woman who's evil.
Hey, you lie about everything.
Is that your excuse for lying on Trump and lying against Maxine Waters?
It's not a lie. I'm about to tell you.
It is an absolute lie. Trump donated his presidential salary, by the way.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
No, but you're not even. But you have no point. You can't name why Trump is evil.
$200,000.
And you can't name why Maxine Waters is not evil. You're a phony.
Man, boy, it's
Maxine Waters defended rioters, and she attacked Trump as who's a decent man, standing for what's right, calling for unity. She called for division and hatred. And you're sitting there claiming she's not evil. And she's a Democrat who supports abortion. She supports the same-sex marriage stuff. Everything that you pretend that you're not for. And you say she's not evil. You are evil.
Trump supported same-sex marriage.
And?
Trump supported abortion.
And
abortion.
That's back in the day. He didn't support it anymore afterwards. He stopped supporting abortion.
He repented, right? So he repented, right?
Yeah. Maxine Waters never did.
And got smart.
Is that why you were calling Trump evil? Because of abortion and same-sex marriage? Is that why you think Trump was evil?
I'm calling Trump evil for his actions.
So no. So you don't care about abortion and same-sex marriage. You're a fake.
He wanted to kill 5 young boys in New York for killing somebody or raping somebody, and they didn't even do it.
You don't know that.
And then
they admitted to it, and they were convicted.
Then he was too prideful to apologize because he's not a man. He can't admit it
because there was no proof that they were innocent. They had been proven guilty. They had been convicted.
Proof that they did it.
They were convicted, dude. They admitted to it. They admitted to the beating.
Yeah,
one guy said it was my first rape.
Because
this guy's lying about the Central Park 5. You are evil, John. Just admit that you're evil. You side with the blacks every time.
See, look.
You side with the degenerate blacks every time, and you're accusing me of siding with the whites. It's you.
Yeah.
That's you.
You side.
I don't side with the whites. You side with the blacks. You're projecting because you're so full of hatred.
What about the 10-year-old boy?
What about? It never ends with you people.
What about that?
You have an excuse for everything.
Because I give you a scenario.
No, you don't give me any scenarios. You never give me the truth.
Because it matches up with a white scenario, and it just shows your bias because you can't be honest on
Show me one bias.
both sides.
Show me one bias.
Okay, I'm telling you. The kid that got shot in Ohio that was 10 years old, the police pulls up 2 seconds, guns him down.
12-year-old. 12-year-old. Tamir Rice.
11-year-old.
12.
Yeah,
he was 12.
Right.
He looked like he was 21. He was pointing a gun that
Are
looked
you
realistic.
kidding me? He was shorter than 5 feet, Hake. He was a kid.
Nuh-uh. Tamir Rice was maybe even taller than 6 feet. He was close to 200 pounds, dude.
Okay, so
you're lying. More lies.
To shoot little white kids down.
If he was pointing a gun in a dangerous town like Cincinnati.
Nobody else was around, Hake.
Yes, why'd he get the cops called on him?
Because white people love calling the police on
You don't
black
even know
people.
if it was a white guy who called the police. Now you're just making up stuff.
I'm pretty sure.
You're pretty sure because you hate white people. You just make up stuff.
Would you like to bet money?
Tamir Rice was 195 pounds, 5'7", according to Nick.
Man, I saw the
195 pounds, dude. They thought he was 21. And he was pointing at a realistic-looking gun. It was a rookie cop.
Okay.
It was a rookie mistake.
No.
Yes. It's a fact.
A rookie mistake.
I gotta go.
You see how you twist stuff up?
It's the truth. I'm telling the whole truth. I'm giving context.
If it was a white kid, Hake, you'd have a different heart.
You have no idea what you're talking about. You have the evil heart because it's a black kid. You identify with blackness. You're the one you call in every day saying, I'm an Israelite because I'm black.
But that's the truth, though. You just don't want to accept it. But you won't be satisfied.
Trump lost money when being president, by the way.
Trump lost being the president.
He lost money while being a president. He gave up a lot.
No.
Anyway.
Is that what Nick just looked up?
No, that was a Bible Go-To guy giving it through a super chat.
Yeah, that's a good source.
Better than you. More honest than you, for sure.
Tell him to name a white person in the Bible.
More honest than you, for sure.
Tell him to name one white person in the Bible.
I'm not going to tell him anything.
You can't do it. You
can't name a black person in the Bible except for Moses' wife. Moses married an Ethiopian. And that guy, Simon, I think he carried Jesus' cross. He was an Ethiopian guy. But other than that, you can't name any blacks. And you think Jesus is black. You're shallow, man. You should be ashamed of yourself. And you're a father. This is a married father.
The Bible explains
how's this clown going to lead his family?
You're a clown. Look at your face. You don't even have hair on your face. You look like a pedophile.
All right. Gotta go. What a psycho. Trump lost billions of dollars, says Steph K. Get off the phone, please, says William. I know. Yeah. What an evil person. What an anti-man person, too. They go around accusing men of being pedophiles. And he said, you look like a pedophile. Lord Graham, okay, hey, time to hang up. Yeah, that was almost 20 minutes, man. Apologies, guys. Lines are full. Let me keep this moving, actually. Let me get to Justin, a first-time caller in Fullerton, California. What's up, Justin? How are you? Justin, your phone is kind of messed up. Let's check on Justin. Let me get to Art in Ohio. Art, how are you doing?
What's up? I'm all right. How you doing? Hake, man?
Doing well, man.
You might hear my car when I sound like an army tank. I'm a little loud, but I'm about to pull up so make sure I can talk to you or whatnot.
Yeah.
So, hey, man, that was a good one, man. I gotta give him a good. That last caller, man, that was a good joke. He said, "Hey, you ain't even got no hair on your face. You look like a pedophile." He had me laughing with that. That was a good one. But but
why is that good?
Cause, oh man, it was a good joke, man. It was just a good ha moment or whatever.
All right, whatever.
He got me. Yeah, but I'm laughing at him, not with him. So
all right.
Cause I'm 35 and I got them good genes or whatnot. Thank Father God, the creator of heaven and earth and everything around us, for blessing me with these good genes or whatnot. And
you have a long beard?
Oh no. My face is this pretty caramel sunshine skin, don't got too much hair on it or whatnot, but I sure do got this American fro and I love it.
Nice.
I think I came out my mama's womb with an afro, a good old American fro. But yeah, I wanted to tell you sorry about with your grandmother and whatnot, and I'm going through something with my grandmother and whatnot too, and yeah, I find it awfully kind of funny that she took that little shot or whatnot, that little vaccine that they've been promoting.
Oh, your grandmother did?
Yeah,
wow.
Then all of a sudden she's starting to have some little health problems that is coming back up, which I already knew it was going to happen when I found out she took the little vaccine shot anyways.
Wow.
Or whatnot. So, yeah, then back on to that last caller, and he's supposed to be a so-called Israelite, and he's supporting people that supporting abortion and gay nonsense.
Yeah. He's saying Maxine Waters is not evil. He doesn't know much about her. He's just making assumptions just because she's black, apparently.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And,
how come all the Israelites, except for you, the black Hebrew Israelites, are into the blackness and hate America?
Because a lot of them is phony, just like a lot of these phony preachers and stuff in a lot of these churches or whatnot. That's exactly what it is.
Do you meet with black Hebrew Israelites together, or what? Do you go to a church? What do you do?
Heck, no, I don't meet with them because I used to listen to them or whatnot on the internet and stuff, but I had to stop listening to them or whatnot, because a lot of stuff that they would say, stuff that they were saying be true or whatnot, but when they were saying that only the Negroes and certain people was gonna only be making it to heaven, and I disagree with that, because I know that ain't what's gonna end. That's what's gonna end up happening.
Oh, they think they're gonna be enslaving the whites. Any whites who get into heaven are gonna be slaves of them.
yeah, and that nonsense too or whatnot. I don't believe that or whatnot neither. That the whites and the other alleged Gentiles are going to be enslaved or whatnot, and we're going to be having babies with their daughters. All this, I don't really believe.
Interracial, huh?
Yeah, whatever they were talking about, I don't really go into it, because just like I said a while ago on your show, that it was some whites that helped Negroes free themselves out of slavery, and there's going to be and they were killed for helping Negroes try to get to the Underground Railroad and get out of slavery. And it's going to be a lot of whites and a lot of other nationalities that make it to heaven because they follow the commandments and they know who Father God is. And and even if we don't know his name, we know whoever it was who created heaven and earth and everything around. He know who we talking to. And when we talk to our Father, because he got our number, he got our address, he know when we wake up, he know everything about us. And you can't pimp Father God. You can't trick him. You could trick the flesh. You could trick a judge, or you can try to trick Hake or Art from Ohio, but you can't trick Father God. And yeah, man, I just want to tell you, man, I'm sorry to hear about that, man. You keep your head on strong or whatnot.
No problem, man. Honestly, it's not. I don't really feel the loss much. She was just about 98 years old, if not 98 already. She was 97. Going on 98. The only reason I know that is because I'd posted on Instagram, a few years ago when she was 95, and it was in like November, mid-November, and we're in November now. So at some point, I guess in November, she would have turned 98, and that's plenty old.
Yeah.
That's
well,
pretty
I don't know
decent.
how I feel about my grandmother or whatnot. I pray that everything turns out right with her, but that's my baby or whatnot, and I don't feel like it's her time to go or whatnot. But whatever God has in store for her, then I don't have too much say. I can't do nothing but roll with what he say. I never question Father God, you know.
Nice.
Even with me, if anything ever happened to me, I can't nobody question it, you know. Everything happens on his time, not on my time or your time.
Right.
But yeah, I just don't like how they be trying to they kill me with that trying to down Trump, man. And everybody always trying to tell you about, oh, he's evil or but they don't never have any facts. They don't never have no reasons why he's a hypocrite, why he's a liar.
Right.
But I want to tell you something that I heard in my job. We had a meeting at my job or whatnot earlier, and the dude, you could tell he was a Democrat. You know what I mean? How he was talking. He was like, I had a friend, and he was healthy, and he got the COVID-19, and he died. And I'm like, why all y'all always say that same line? Oh, and they was healthy. Y'all don't never say nothing about the fat people that's dying over. Y'all always want to tell people about the healthy people that didn't smoke cigarettes and they didn't drink, and all of a sudden he got COVID-19 and died. But they don't never say, oh, look at that fat wench over there. She eats McDonald's and Big Macs every day, and she's 300 pounds overweight, and she caught COVID. Y'all don't never use that example. Y'all always want to use the example of a healthy person that don't never smoke or do nothing like that. Man, I can tell and see you Democrats from a mile away. I don't like you. When I hear you talk about that COVID-19 stuff, man, I just know you full of SHIT. But Father God bless you. We love Trump. Yeah, we love Trump and we love America, and ain't nothing gonna change. And
don't spell out such easy to make out cuss words, man.
I had to tell that to the dummies. You know, I got to tell it to the dummies, man. And tell them Democrats get it. Tell them Democrats.
Don't spell out cuss words because the children know how to spell. We have smart children listening to the show.
As long as they ain't go to none of these public schools around here, but yeah, as long as they ain't go to none of these CRT public schools or whatnot.
Yeah.
Hey, Hake, man, do me a favor and tell them Democrats, man, get off that square stuff, man. Tell them get off that square stuff, Hake, man.
Square?
Yeah, that square stuff, man.
What square stuff, man? What square stuff? What square stuff?
They need to drop that COVID-19 nonsense, man. They tell them take them Pampers off their face and tell them to go believe in Father God. And I heard Joe Biden with his little dirty self pooped his pants in front of the Prince of England.
I don't know, man.
What a dirty little weasel. I expect something out of a little weasel like that.
I have a question. I have a question that just came in from Hydro. It's a super chat. He says, "Ask Art, why do blacks have such an obsession with their mothers and grandmothers, moms and grandmas?" He says.
Well, again, that's what I figured out too. That's how the Democrats they set it up.
Yeah.
That's how they was doing it back in slavery. They run the men off, and a lot of these females are so jealous of the men. They know that the kids naturally are more. They favor the fathers. And the females know that, meaning like they tend to love the fathers more than they love the moms. So a lot of the moms be jealous because the kids get the dad's more attention. Plus, a lot of females are jealous because men are able to work longer. We everything, God left everything to men. So a lot of them jealous or whatnot about that. Plus, due to slavery, they removed the men or whatnot. So, of course, the kids, they ain't got no men around or whatnot. They're going to tend to be more close to the moms and the grandmothers, especially in these Democratic-ran areas.
Yeah. So it's because they lack fathers, apparently, or whatever. What a mess.
Yeah, and that's how they got it set up. That's how the courts got it set up like that. And the courts is in bed. They being some of these judges or whatnot that's arresting or having some of the people arrested or whatnot for these felonies and stuff like that. They have little programs that the judges are invested in, meaning like instead of the person that caught a felony going to jail, you will have an opportunity to go to like a little program to where it's a notch under jail, meaning that it's not like jail. It means it gives you more free time.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is it's a conflict of interest. How are you a judge and you own part of a jail facility or whatnot, the same facility when you dealing with the same inmates that you locking up? It's a conflict of interest. So a lot of this stuff, man.
Yeah, that could be.
It's a money trap. Yep.
Corruption.
Yes, sir.
The government is corrupt, that's for sure. And these judges are not Christians, by the way.
Oh, no, they not.
Yeah.
No, they not. You know they ain't, man. You know they ain't. Hey, man, you just keep up the good work. And I tell Jesse, too, because I be missing calling him and stuff, tell him I stopped smoking powder and whatnot, and I don't drink as much. And I want to tell him all praise to Father God, but he helped me through, Jesse helped me through that, too, or whatnot. Stop smoking. So, yeah, I ain't been smoking or whatnot like that.
Right on. Good news.
Yes,
Art,
sir.
appreciate you.
Hey, man, keep up the good work. And you know we still rolling with Trump. I don't care who like it and who don't like it. They better hold their tongue and hold their breath.
Yeah. All right, man. Take care.
Yes, sir. Catch you later. Yep.
Some more quick super chats, guys, and I will be getting back to the calls, but I got to read these. Lots have come in. Brandon M. over there on Odyssey, ODYSEE.com/@the Hake Report. And I think it's a reference to Jeff Suffering. He keeps writing songs like this to his kids. He'll be a prime candidate to get stuffed in a basement freezer when they turn 18. Is that... Wow. Terrible. Is that a reference to how kids... the smothering of the children? I don't know. Ledge Klinger gave a super chat. Thank you, man. On Odyssey. People like John from Kentucky wake up in the morning and the first thought they have is, I'm black. Or I'm an Israelite. John, you're the most shallow caller I've ever heard, says Ledge Klinger. Wow. And that's saying something, because I got some shallow callers. That's his opinion, John. And you can call in tomorrow if you want to defend yourself. By the way, we didn't need your slave labor. We didn't need your slave labor. It was available, and so we used it. Your color fixation will be your undoing. That's a fair warning of love to you. Asmodor, talking about the Central Park 5 case, which there's a whole lot of fake news about it. Don't believe the Netflix documentaries, guys. When They See Us. Is that what a Netflix, that was by Ava DuVernay? Was that a Netflix thing? It was about Central Park 5, right? Matthias Reyes, who had been jailed for committing a slew of heinous crimes that included a murder and multiple rapes that involved Reyes gouging out the eyes of his victims. Wow. Came forward with the confession because he supposedly found religion and felt the victims' pain when they met in jail. The victims being the people who were convicted of this crazy rape allegedly by the Central Park 5 of this Central Park jogger. Not a black. Jogger back then meant a white lady who, she lost so much blood in the attack that she was almost going to die, and she didn't remember the attack. And so Trump pulled out a full-page ad and said, people who do this type of a crime should get the death penalty. And he was right. Hydro says, how desperate is John for you to become something that he wants? Crazy, Hydro. Crazy. K-Ree Wise, Asmodor says, this was my first rape. Yeah, I knew one of those Central Park 5 guys. Thugs who support Black Lives Matter today. Pfft, dumb liberals. And they're propped up on CNN, Commie Nonsense Network, the network of lies. He said this was my first rape, one of these guys. Multiple videotaped confessions, says Asmodor, of the 5, Central Park 5, not the Fox News 5. The presence of semen, blood, and hair on all of the suspects. A scratch on Kevin Richardson's neck that in the company of his father he admitted he received by Melee. And several witness accounts confirmed to the police that the vermin who Ken Burns would years later make into martyrs were as guilty as sin itself of initiating and facilitating an attack against Trisha Maley that nearly cost the poor woman her life. Yeah. Antron McRae. We charged her. We got her on the ground. Everybody started hitting her and stuff. She was on the ground. Everybody stomping and everything. Then we got I grabbed one arm. Some other kid grabbed one arm. And we grabbed her legs and stuff. We all took turns getting on her. Kevin Richardson, Raymond Santana had her arms and Steve Lopez had her legs. He spread it out and Antron McRae got on top and took her clothes off, panties off. What a mess, huh? And there was no evidence that there was any forced confession. They were pretending that there was a beating and all that stuff. Please. Just lies. And they were never exonerated. Their sentence was vacated. But the going theory, according to a Daily Wire report that I read, was that they had beaten her and then some guy came later and raped her. But these guys said that they did. And this was a time in the early 90s and late 80s that blacks were, quote unquote, wilding in Central Park, stealing people's bikes, mugging people, just going crazy. It's really graphic, James. Yeah, sorry about that. Jib Jab. Shout out to Jib Jab. Thank you for the super chats, guys. Dean in North Carolina. On hold. What's up, Dean?
What's up, hey? How you been?
Been fine, thank you. Oh, I got to get to Josh, too. Josh in Atlanta is back on the line. Go ahead, Dean.
I got like two little things to ask or talk to you about. You know how people will be like, or the news, or they'll be like the first female to become mayor or whatever.
Yeah.
But really, there's been like 100 mayors before you, like, and then on their premise alone, they'll be like, oh, we're all humans, so like let's not, all race, no human, all male, female, are all one now. And
stay close to your phone. You're coming in a touch quiet for my taste.
But they'll be the first ones to throw a label on something like the first black president. But
right. And they will jump on defending blacks who are criminals and attacking whites who are innocent but suspected of imaginary racism and all kinds of mess.
But also, I just want to tell you this story real quick. Out here in North Carolina, I was going to the dentist or whatever, and it's one of those like college clinic dentist 3 things where the students are there to like work on your teeth, and you can kind of go there and get like discounts on everything. But basically, I had a tooth infection. I was going there to get the antibiotics I needed to get the tooth infection to go down because I had to get an extraction done because of the way my teeth are, like they grow into my jawbone. They're like caveman teeth, basically. It's real life, bro. Like my teeth are like they go down and J-hook in, so I got to get them surgically removed.
Yikes!
But
caveman.
It's real, bro. It's a rarity. Like they
yeah.
They look at my teeth. They're like, wow, bro, we got.
All right.
But anyways, so I go in there to fill out the paperwork and everything, and I'm filling it out. And at the top it's asking me male, female, and then on it's transgender. And of course, I put in parentheses. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
whoa.
I said WT. Excuse. I'm sorry, bro. I do apologize. I apologize to your the audience too.
All right.
Yeah, my bad. And so I just put up there this little like WTF, and I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah, it is.
And so like I passed the paperwork in, and then this lady, crazy enough, this big old heavy set woman comes rolling out there with her purple hair, and she sits down next to me. She's like, is everything all right? Like trying to like play me like something's wrong. I'm like,
right.
Well, I think it's silly this is on the paper. And she was like, well, you could have just left it blank. And I'm looking at her scratching my head. Well, I was like, that kind of you could have just left it off the paper.
Yeah.
It was just a silly little thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What a mess.
I walked out of there just to say enough. I just walked out of there. I was like, this is goofy. I'm not even gonna deal with it. So I went to another place and got taken care of.
Oh, right on. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's an evil world for sure.
Yeah, and then for people to like, they don't think that CRT is like it's ingrained. Like even in my daughter's class, in her elementary class, when you walk in, all the signs you'll see just on the walls and the signs. People might not see it, but I recognize this.
Yeah.
It'll be like, believe in yourself, and we should be not telling people to believe in themselves. You should be believing in God and only God.
Right.
When people are talking and well, I believe this, or I believe my car is this, and no, you need to change the way you talk, bro. The only thing you believe in is God.
No,
period.
And they're pushing this. They're pushing this diversity stuff and social justice in schools. It's political, and it is evil. It's brainwashing. It's against the children. What a shame.
Yeah. We went to open house. I even like looked at the teacher. I was like, that's kind of silly. And she's like, what do you mean by that? And I was just like, it's a silly concept of believing in yourself. My child should be. I tell her to believe in God, and then she comes here and tells you this, and you tell them this. It's really conflict.
I remember reading about self-esteem When I was in later elementary school, they were starting to push that type of stuff. I'm like, this is so phony. This is so contrived. People.
I mean, for me, like
people are lacking confidence because they don't have good families and strong fathers, and it's not. Schools are not going to teach this stuff. They're clamping down on the boys, so boys are insecure, and then they're propping up the females, so females have this false confidence. It's so evil.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I got to warrior my kids up all the time, and give them the shield of Christ, and tell them we're God first.
Give them the shoulder of Christ. What did you say?
No, the shield.
Oh, shield.
I give them the shield of Christ, and I tell them truth, bro. I just speak truth to them. No matter what the conflict of interest is, I just let them know, like, this is truth.
Okay.
Like, don't be afraid to speak it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like, you got to.
They should be outspoken,
I have right now.
for sure.
I can't afford for homeschool or nothing like that at this moment in my life. I can't afford that.
Man. Well, I wish you well, Dean.
Yeah, and just throw this out there real quick. Christianity is just about taking your imagination, put it in your box, bro, and walking with Christ, bro. It's simple. It's let all your worries, cast everything onto Him, put all your imagination in that box, and just walk, bro. Just start walking.
All right. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate the call, Dean.
Yeah, bro. No worries.
All right. Take care. Man, I got to get back to Josh in Atlanta. He was my first caller, I think. Josh, thank you for holding and thank you for calling back. Hopefully your signal's better now. Is he there? Now, Josh fell asleep. Or maybe he took a nap under a tree. Josh! Well, I guess we're no Josh again. What a mess. My favorite caller, been on hold forever, Maze in Dayton, Ohio. What's up?
Hello, James.
Hey.
You know the person that some chicken balls in Atlanta? There's something else going on in Georgia.
Yeah.
There's something else going on in Georgia, too.
What else?
You want me to tell you what it is?
I don't know.
They need to put some blinds up to their window, and they are raggedy. And they need, people in there need to put some blinds up to their window and get rid of those raggedy ones they got hanging.
Did you just visit Atlanta or something? Why are you telling me this?
They got raggedy-looking windows. They need to fix them up.
Josh is out picking up chicken bones trying to help the city of Atlanta, says Skip.
I'm saying like they need blinds to go up to their window, them people in Georgia.
Why? Are you saying that the neighbors are too nosy? They're peeking out their windows?
They are just, like some people have animals and they just tear them up. Blinds, yeah, and just they look in the mess and people don't have sense enough to take them down and put new ones up.
This may be relevant information, but I just don't see the relevance.
That's going around in Georgia.
The chicken bone story seemed out of left field, but my apologies once again to Skip. The blacks over there in Georgia, Atlanta and elsewhere, they're just littering, eating up chicken bones because they eat the chicken and then just leave the bones so disgusting on the ground and on the wall, short walls that you can sit on and everywhere. There's whole Instagram accounts dedicated to it, and the mainstream media is covering it up because they don't want to tell the truth about the blacks who are making things more ghetto, just littering.
Yeah, right.
Chicken bones are gross. You shouldn't be doing that, especially with your mouth on them.
All thoughts are lies, James. So as I say, tell people to go fix their windows up, and it'll be okay.
All right, appreciate it, Mace.
What do you think about that cartoon that was the thing that the old crappy man sent to OAC?
Did you call? Are you referring to Representative Paul Gosar?
Yeah.
What did you call him?
The old bat.
The old bat?
Yes.
I don't know the story.
You can call Maxine Waters all kind of names, but Maxine Waters is not going around trying to get somebody to threaten other people.
Yes, she is. Are you kidding me?
Wrong with
You're lying. What a liar. Maxine Waters is outright encourage people to surround, give them no peace. Give them no peace. Any Trump supporter, anybody in the Trump cabinet, don't give them any peace. You surround them and you make a crowd and you make a scene and tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere. That was Maxine Waters, so you're lying.
It's not threatening anybody.
Yes,
she is. About the ones that's been threatened?
And then she supports rioters all the time. She lies about white people. She's an evil woman.
I'm asking you the question, James. What about these people that voted on the bill, the infrastructure bill, which don't make any sense anyway, because they had something.
Yeah, I know. That's communism.
You got an infrastructure bill.
Yeah.
So you got states that you live in already paying for the roads and bridges, supposedly.
Exactly.
So what are the people going to get out of it?
I know.
Republicans thought it was a great thing. And those that went over and voted for it,
13 rhinos.
hate mail and everything, too. What's wrong with this GOP? That's all. And when it comes to educating and school system, it's a fluke, too. Because what did you learn in school about black people when you were going?
I learned that there are good and bad black people, and there were good and bad slave masters.
What was it? That's what I'm trying to say. That's all you learn, and that's all you know. That's why all thoughts are lies.
Good and bad. Are there not good and bad people, or decent and indecent people?
And then you call yourself a Christian, but you don't even know the definition of a Christian. Because as I say, every day you break God's law.
You're a mess. What was your point about bringing up Paul Gosar after you called him names?
What?
What was your point about Paul
Gosar?
Gosar?
He's old, and he's a bat. Old bat.
No, what's your point about Paul Gosar?
Excuse me?
What's your point about
what he did?
What did he do?
I don't expect an apology from him.
What did he do? Explain to the people what he did.
And it's going to stay there. Don't you think so?
What did Paul Gosar do?
The little cartoon thing he put out saying what he wanted to do to her. How he would do her. That don't make no sense. You up there.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You don't make any sense, Maze.
I thought they went there for the will of the people. Not
you make no sense, Maze. I gotta go.
Let me finish, James. I have something else to say.
No, but you're not even explaining what Paul Gosar did.
What you learned at home.
You didn't even explain what did Paul Gosar do, Maze?
You know what he did.
I do not. I'm going to hang up on you if you don't tell me.
Do some research and do it tomorrow.
All right, goodbye. Let me quickly get to Donning Armour. We have 1 minute to go. Donning Armour, what's up?
Hey, brother. I was going to talk about global warming to a certain extent, but forget that. I just want to know, would you classify me as a snake?
Would I classify you as a snake? Maybe. Why do you ask?
Well, maybe. Can you tell me why? Like, what is a snake to you?
A snake is somebody who's fundamentally dishonest, tries to be, pretends to be friends, and then kind of backstabs or complains or just turns on people.
Do you think that I backstabbed you or tried to be dishonest with you in my opinion?
I don't think you are fundamentally an honest person. Yeah.
Can you give me an example, or can you tell me why? Just out of curiosity.
It's an impression. But
so
yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it. You brought it up.
No, I'm not worried.
It's not my first. It's not my first thought when I come to you right now.
Yeah, no, it's no problem if you do or you don't. I'm just curious, honestly. Have I seemed to have been deceptive? Because that's what a snake in the grass would be to me. But I'm just curious.
Well, you believe lies, that's for sure.
Okay, but am I honest about those lies? Do I present my case openly and honestly?
You're pretty open. You're pretty open. Sometimes you turn. So I don't know. Yeah.
All right. Well,
if I get a better example, I mean, I understand you're trying to get a clearer answer from me, but I'm drawing a blank. So
that's fine.
If I see it, I'll let you know.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
And good show.
Thank you, man.
Enjoyed everything. So have a good one, man.
You believe yes, man-made global warming, yes?
Well, there's not enough time to really get into that.
Okay,
subject,
but
yes.
A quick yes or no? Or
yes.
Okay. All right, man. Well, we'll talk again, I think. Take care, man.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
Were you pleased to hear about my grandma keeping the clan together?
I don't even know what that means.
Okay, yeah. Yesterday I talked about how my grandmother kept all the extended family in town, basically. Kind of like what you were talking about. All right, man.
Yes, I'm okay for that. That sounds great to me.
All right.
I just wanted to get your take on it. Thank you so much, man. Good show, and have a good one.
All right, you as well. All right, guys. This has been the Hake Report. Thank you, guys. Catch Bond Archive Sunday Service Throwback, 4 p.m. Pacific time today. RebuildingTheMan.com/church. Bond, Rebuilding the Man, YouTube. Take care, guys.
If I find myself, I'll let you know. But till then, my love, I got to